You know, I believe I like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Alright, seats are done, they're installed, they're tacked in, everything is good, they're where I like it. So next step is going to be all the plastic and vinyl inside this car. And the dash is one of those prominent features. You can see I've got a significant crack right there. It's one down there, a little less down here. And actually I think this could be easily dealt with. I could dig this out, fill it with filler or epoxy, if there were such thing, and if there is, I've never found it, as a dash cap for an Oldsmobile. I would just dash cap it because I've got a really good line right there where I could cut a dash cap and hide it hide the fact that I've got a dash cap there, paint it, and be done. I've got this issue also, which is a pretty significant crack. I think I could dig that out as well. And along here, right there to that line, put a piece of 22 gauge sheet, adhere that, and paint paint this actual piece, and I think I'd be pretty well covered right there. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about that. I have a whole dash upstairs that I pulled out of an 85, and it is in perfect condition. It's kind of a buckskin palomino color, so that can be dealt with, but I've got a complete dash I can put in there. And this is the dash I'll be using, though it probably doesn't show up on video, but it is flawless. There are no cracks, no splits, no spiders, nothing. It's a perfect dash. I got it 2 or 3 years ago in a boneyard out of an 85 that was absolutely a granddad's car. The whole car was really good except for, I'm imagining the engine was frozen, because everything else was good. As a matter of fact, the header panel and the fenders are on the Wagon right now. But that's the dash. Everything is good except it's the wrong color, and we can cure that. The bigger issue, in my opinion, are places like this. This is the molding over the rear wheel, and you can see that it has a lot of chalking, and that's of course 35 years of being used as a station wagon, with this great big piece of glass right here that had no tinting in it, and the sun has just beaten right down on it. The color is just almost completely gone, and it's beginning to chalk, and that is going to have to be dealt with. SEM is not going to do that. SEM is an awesome product if you have a really good piece of plastic that you're recoloring or something like that, but something that's chewed up and chalking, well, that's going to present an issue that's going to have to be dealt with. And there are other pieces as well. Of course, there are little gouges and scrapes and cuts and so forth. None of those am I really going to tackle. I'm going to kind of sand them and round them out a little bit, but this is obviously not a concours car, and it will be used, so I'm going to leave those things alone if I can just get this color the way I want it, and something done to address all of that chalking. I actually have a plan. Okay, there is the color of the interior, every plastic piece in this car. And I'm hoping it comes out on this video. It may not. That's a deep maroon right there. It's not a GM paint, or one that I'm aware of anyway. I went to Martin Sinauer and we mixed this up, and it's just a catalog dark maroon. we just kept adding black to it until I said yabba dabba do, and this is where I am. I like the color a lot. You can see, hopefully, there are places here where there were gouges and such from 35 years of use that I didn't, and I'm not gonna worry about taking care of. I just want the color down, I want the chalking taken care of, and I want everything to be a uniform dark maroon. Now if you got a really good eye, and if this video picks it up, you'll notice there's a slight difference in the texture of the original texture anyway, but it's a really slight difference. There's not a huge difference in that texture, and I'm really happy about that, because that's bed liner. I mixed the paint with Raptor Tintable bed liner and sprayed it on with a little $10 Harbor Freight HVLP. Of course, I had to make some modifications to that expensive little gun, but it is on there, and it comes out thin enough that it mimics, in fact it lays in a lot of places on the texture that's already there, but it mimics it a lot better than their shoots gun. Their shoots gun really puts on a much heavier texture than I want on here. So this is the route I went. It's not an easy thing. You really gotta, there's a procedure for getting it done. The learning curve on it, for me anyway, was a long learning curve. But I got it down, I got my technique down, the colors down, the thickness is down, and that it's just right to spray, and it comes on there. And the theory is, of course, that I've got bed liner on all the plastic pieces. It's impervious to sunlight. It's pretty well impervious to anything. It's tough. It's still flexible. I don't have any Armor All work to ever do again. You're just going to take a wet cloth, wipe it down, and carry on. And the biggest reason I did it is all these areas where it was just chalking so bad. My theory is it's all bound in there now. That bed liner should bind all that together, hold it down. I don't believe anything underneath there is going to pick up and start cracking and chalking off of there. That's the theory. That's what I'm hoping. That's why I've done it. But the color is right. The fact that I don't have to Armor All or mess with it or do anything to it. It's still a bit shiny because it's not that long since I sprayed it. But I kind of like the idea it's a little bit shiny. It looks like I've Armor All'd it anyway. But that's what the interior is going to look like. And of course, it's a Wagon, so I have about 11 gajillion pieces to spray. And here on the west coast of Florida, we have been drenched for weeks now. It's just wet all the time, rains all the time. We're at 90 plus humidity, which is too humid to spray this. So it's going to take a while, but I got a gajillion pieces that need to be sprayed. They're all going to look like that. I like it. That's what I want. That's what's going to be in there. Yabba dabba do.